Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron here, New Life Pentecostal Church, Albany, Georgia, and we are here with the 1568 Bishop's Bible. This is the precursor to the King James, and according to the rules of the King James, I've gone through that recently, the King James was supposed to be based on the Bishop's Bible, but as it says, as the original, as much as the original will allow. You can see the Bishop's Bible has the drop cap lettering, has the wide margins, and just really just good. And rag cotton paper, so it's going to last a long time. And so the Bishop's Bible kind of always gets compared to the Geneva Bible. And the reason for that, the Geneva Bible came out in 1560, and it was kind of known as the popular Bible. This was the people that were fleeing Bloody Mary from 1553, 1558 that camped out in Geneva, Switzerland, in Calvin's Geneva. 1557, they came out with the New Testament. 1560, the whole Bible. You had like John Fox of Fox's Book of Martyr fame, John Knox, Whittingham, and actually, the Geneva Bible won the day. It's been said when the Pilgrims came over, a lot of people just say, yeah, they brought the Geneva Bible. The truth of the matter is a little more nuanced than that. They actually brought, to our knowledge, 3 Bibles, 2 Genevas and a King James with them. But the Geneva Bible, the King James did not like the notes of the Geneva Bible because they kind of had the Calvinist tenet, disobedience to tyrants is obedience to God. And so he did not like those notes at all, obviously. And so he wanted he said the Geneva Bible was the worst. And King James was quite the linguist, believe it or not. He knew like 7 languages. He has his own translation of Psalms, but he did not translate the King James Bible. He just expeditiously urged them on in their undertaking. But this was done by a committee of 16, 17 people, Matthew Parker, Archbishop, if I remember, and some very noted linguists. But you can see it's rather large. Let's measure this thing. It's also going to be in Gothic type, which means it's going to be difficult to read. So, when I mean difficult to read, just a large letter. So it is 15.5 inches tall. I don't know how many lines. Like a King James, you can always tell a real King James because it's going to be 59 lines long. If you ever see a King James that's 72 lines long, that's not going to be legit. So, whoops. So let's see here. We'll measure this. We'll let you look at the measuring here. But it had wide margins. Another fascinating thing that Ward Allen over at the University of Auburn has found, that the King James translators actually had loose leaf Bishop's Bibles in wide margin that they could write in. So that's pretty fascinating there. Now you'll notice when it comes to ancient Bible pages that most of the time, ones that guys like me can afford, it's out of the Old Testament because the New Testament passages are just too expensive. Now another thing that the Bishop's Bible doesn't have that like the Great Bible has, the King James has, is summary headings of the chapters. But it is very ornate. I'll show you the example of the drop-capped letter here. And I think this is Isaiah. And my Roman numeral reading is not good, so I'm going to say that is 45, 6. I don't know what chapter in Isaiah that is, really. But I think this is Isaiah. I'm going to see if I can read this. This is from 1568. Now, if it was in Roman type, it'd be very easy to read, but the Gothic is harder. So, in the beginning of a thing is better than the end thereof. I tell before things that are not yet come to pass. Okay, so that's talking about prophecy. God knows the end from the beginning. Standeth steadfastly inhabited, and I fulfill all my pleasure. I call a bride out of the calf, and the man by whom my counsel shall be fulfilled out of strange countries. as I have spoken. Anyhow, it's going to be very close to the King James. Okay, the word of the Lord against Babylon. The prophecy. Let's see. So I'm going to guess that's of Isaiah. So they didn't do the H. Okay, idolatry is reproved. The health that cometh by Christ is prophesied. Bel is fallen, Nebo is broken. Whole images were a burden, which it says burthen, but that's burden. Okay, so pretty amazing. Let's see how wide this thing is. So it's almost 11 inches wide. We'll let you see that here, if we can do that. All right. So it is very close to 11 inches wide. The drop cap lettering, absolutely fantastic. One reason we know Vaticanus Sinaiticus are not as old as they claim to be, because drop cap lettering didn't come into being for hundreds of years till after 300, 400 AD. Be that as it may, God bless, live for Jesus. The Bishop's Bible, 1568. Talk with you later in Jesus' name.